Hello everybody, welcome back to the FIFA 2017 experiment where we're doing the Premier League from year by year. Now we have now reached the 2003 season. Now just to remind you, Chelsea and Manchester United are the front runners with the most amount of points in this little experiment. But anyway, the three relegated teams were Ipswich, Derby and Leicester City, and the promoted teams were Manchester City again, West Brom, and Birmingham City were promoted to the Premier League. So, how will they do this year in the 2003 version in this game? Well, let's jump to the halfway mark and find out. Okay, we are now at the halfway mark of the 2003 season. Manchester City are in the lead by just 2 points over the real-life winners Manchester United. Arsenal and Newcastle United have both got 42 points each, but Arsenal have the edge on goal difference. Now currently second place in the point system. Chelsea is down in 6th place. But anyway, let's look at the three promoted teams. Manchester City obviously in the lead. West Brom is in 12th place and Birmingham City is in 15th place. So Birmingham City not doing so well, but the other two teams are doing alright. Now in the relegation zone are Fulham, Blackburn Rovers and Middlesbrough. Bolton and Leeds United are just barely missing that relegation zone. Fulham and Blackburn Rovers both with 6 points each and Middlesbrough 12. So Fulham and Blackburn Rovers really are in trouble of losing points. But let's get to the end of the season and see if they can make some form of recovery. Right, we have come to the end of the season, and Manchester City, who has been largely absent from this experiment, won this year of the Premier League. So Arsenal taking second place with 10 points behind, but 4 points further back is Manchester United beating Newcastle by just 1 point. Chelsea is down in 7th place, a disastrous year for Chelsea. Now the other two promoted teams, because we know Manchester City is in first place. West Brom finished in 12th place and Birmingham City just barely missing the relegation zone in 17th. Blackburn Rovers and Fulham weren't really able to recover, but Bolton fell into the relegation zone, which is quite unfortunate because Bolton did quite well to just barely avoid the relegation zone on numerous occasions, but on this occasion it just wasn't enough this time to stay out of it. So let's now join to the 2004 season and see what happens with the real life relegations and promotions in play. Okay everyone, we are here for the 2004 season. Now those three teams that were relegated were West Ham, West Brom and Sunderland were all relegated, and the three teams that were promoted were Portsmouth, Leicester City and Wolves. So I'm quite surprised that Portsmouth ever made it to the Premier League. Now that's not me attacking the supporters or being biased towards the team. It's just, to me, it's a bit of a surprise because they're a League 2 team right now. Well, actually, no. Are they League 1? I don't know. I didn't watch the football last year, so... But anyway, to me, Portsmouth in the Premier League, a bit of a surprise. But it'll be interesting to see how Portsmouth will be able to do with all these teams they're going up against in the FIFA 17 game. Now, Wolves, I'm not too sure. Leicester City, I'm not expecting Leicester City to be in the relegation zone, but it could happen, it might not happen, who knows. But anyway, let's just get to the halfway mark and we'll see what happens. Okay, we are at the halfway stage of the 2004 season, and Manchester United and Arsenal are both tied on points, and on goal difference also. So it's a very, very close battle between Manchester United and Arsenal. In third place, 3 points behind, is Chelsea with 42 points, but then fourth place is about 5 points behind. But anyway, let's look at the three promoted teams. Portsmouth are in 18th place, so to be honest, I was expecting Portsmouth to be dead last, but Portsmouth are doing a lot better than I thought they would be doing in this experiment. Wolves are in 17th. I thought they would be a little bit higher than they are. And the other team, Leicester City, is in 7th. So Leicester City is doing quite well also. So in my opinion, a few surprises have come up, especially with Portsmouth not being dead last. But who knows what the second half will bring us. But just before we go ahead, I noticed something during the simulator. Portsmouth beat Arsenal 1-0, which was quite surprising during the simulation. I mean, I didn't think Portsmouth would be able to take Arsenal on, and in this game they have. But anyway, let's just get to the end of the season and see what will happen there. Okay, we have come to the end of the 2004 season, and Chelsea got the lead in the end and has won the 2004 Premier League ahead of Manchester United by 4 points. And Manchester City, who won the last year, ended up finishing 3rd place. Arsenal dropped down to 4, so at the top part of the table, bit of change to the results. Now the 3 promoted teams, Leicester City finished in 7th place, Wolves just missed out on the relegation zone in 17th, and Portsmouth in the end, even though they were off to quite a good start, unfortunately the momentum didn't seem to keep up and they ended up finishing at the back, which was quite a shame despite that 1-0 victory over Arsenal. I mean, that was quite an achievement for Portsmouth to make, but I was really hoping they didn't hit the relegation zone, but sadly they did. Blackburn Rovers finished 19th, and Charlton Athletic was 18th, so they'll be losing some points, along with Portsmouth. But anyway, it's time to tune into the 2005 season, where the real-life relegations and promotions are taking place. Alright, we are now at the 2005 Premier League season. Now the 3 teams that were relegated were Leicester City, Leeds and Wolves. And the 3 promoted teams were Norwich, West Brom and Crystal Palace has returned again. The real life winner, Chelsea. Will Chelsea win this season? Who really knows? But anything can happen, as we will now cut to the halfway mark of the 2005 Premier League. Okay, we are now at the halfway point of the 2005 Premier League, and the real life winners Chelsea are up in 1st place. Now Spurs, surprisingly, has managed to slip into 2nd place, just 2 points behind. Manchester City, 8 points behind Spurs in 3rd place, just ahead of Manchester United. Arsenal down in 6th. Now the 3 promoted teams, we have Crystal Palace in 7th, Norwich is currently in 10th, and West Brom, where's West Brom? It's in 12th place, so they're around about the midway mark up towards the top. Now at the relegation zone, Fulham, Blackburn Rovers and Bolton are in the relegation zone. Portsmouth just 1 point ahead of Bolton. Can Portsmouth stay out of the relegation zone? Well, we'll have to see what happens at the relegation zone at the end, as we will now by skipping on to the end of the season. Okay, we've reached to the end of the season of the Premier League, and Chelsea maintained their lead over 4 points, just ahead of Manchester United. Tottenham Spurs managed to finish in 3rd place, just 1 point behind Manchester United, with a 15-point gap between 4th downwards, with Arsenal in 6th, Manchester City 5th, Liverpool 4th. The 3 promoted teams, Crystal Palace in 7th place, Norwich is in 10th, and West Brom is in 11th. At the relegation zone, Bolton managed to get out the relegation zone and pushed Portsmouth into 18th place. So Blackburn Rovers, Fulham and Portsmouth finish in the relegation zone. But we will now make our way to the 2006 season with all the real life relegations and promotions in play. Okay, we are now at the 2006 season of the Premier League. Now the 3 teams that were relegated were Crystal Palace, Norwich and Southampton, and the 3 teams that were promoted were Sunderland, Wigan Athletic and finally West Ham. So, how will these 3 promoted teams do? Who really knows? The real life champions were Chelsea, so can Chelsea win this season? Who knows? Anyway, it's time to skip to the halfway point of the season, and we will find out for sure. Okay, this is the halfway mark of the 2006 season, and Manchester United are in the lead, 12 points ahead of second place, which happens to be Arsenal, who's 1 point ahead of Manchester City in third place. West Ham just 1 point behind Manchester City, so Manchester United are dominating the season, while it's a very close three-way fight for second place. Chelsea is down in sixth place, which is a bit of a surprise. Now let's see the three promoted teams, if I can find them. Well, West Ham obviously in fourth place. The other two, Sunderland is in 11th place, and Wigan is dead last on a three-way tie between Birmingham City and Portsmouth. But the only thing separating the three teams in the relegation zone are the goal differences. But they're 6 points behind 17th spot, which is taken by Blackburn Rovers. So can those three teams bounce back in some way, or is it too much to handle for them? We'll find out, as we're now going to jump to the end of the season right now. Okay, we've come to the end of the season, and there's been quite a shuffle to the board. Manchester United managed to maintain their lead, but their gap was 13 seconds ahead. No, 13 points ahead of Arsenal, and Chelsea, who were in 6th place, jumped all the way up to 3rd place, overtaking Manchester City. West Ham was in 3rd place, but they dropped down to 7th, so quite a shuffle to the board there, right there. Now the other two promoted teams, Sunderland finished in 12th place, and Wigan finished dead last, 1 point behind Portsmouth, and Birmingham City wasn't able to get out of the relegation zone. So we'll now go to the 2007 season with the relegated teams and the promoted teams in play, the real life ones at least. Okay, we are now at the 2007 Premier League now, in this 2017 experiment, of course. Now the three teams that were relegated were Birmingham City, West Brom and Sunderland, and the three teams that were promoted were Reading, Sheffield United and Watford. So should be quite an interesting season, especially with Watford being promoted. Will Watford be able to score high with the other Premier League teams on this, or not so much? Well, we'll find out at the halfway mark right now. Alright, we are at the halfway mark, and Chelsea have pulled up quite a lead from second place, which is surprisingly Spurs. Chelsea 50 points, Spurs and Arsenal 43 points, just 1 point ahead of Manchester United in 4th place. Because Manchester City's 5th with 38 points, I got confused there. And with the three promoted teams, we have, where we can find them, Watford is in 13th place, in 17th place is Reading, and Sheffield United is down in the relegation zone with Wigan and Blackburn Rovers. Sheffield United only scoring 9 points, and Blackburn Rovers hadn't even won a single match and only got 4 points. So can the teams in the relegation zone bounce back somehow? Will Chelsea maintain their lead in this year of the Premier League? Well, let's get to the end of the season and find out. Okay, we have come to the end of the 2000 season of the Premier League, and despite a 7-point lead from Chelsea, they weren't able to keep their lead from Manchester United. Manchester United beating Chelsea by 2 points, and Arsenal with 84 points taking 3rd place, just 1 point ahead of Tottenham Spurs, which I have to say for Spurs, they were just so unlucky because they did so well to get 2nd place. Now, the three promoted teams, we have Reading in 17th place, just above the relegation zone. Sheffield United in 19th place, tying the same amount of points as Blackburn Rovers at the bottom of the table. And then we have Watford in 15th place, who lost by 3 points to Portsmouth. So I'm glad to see that Portsmouth wasn't in the relegation zone this time. I think they really deserved to not be relegated because they did so well against the other teams like Fulham, Reading, Wigan, Sheffield and Blackburn. So it's now time to check the current standings on points.
Okay, here are all the points from the 2008 to the no from the 2003 to the 2008 season, and as you can see, Manchester United have a 2 point lead over Chelsea, and we had Arsenal in third place with 5 points, just ahead of Manchester City with 4, and Spurs rounding up where they had any points at all, because everyone below had lost points. You had Bolton, Charlton Athletic, and Birmingham with -1 each. Sheffield -2, and then you've got Fulham and Wigan with -4 points each, and Portsmouth with only -6, which is a lot better compared to Blackburn's -11. So Portsmouth being a bit of an underdog, but have pulled up a couple of surprises despite, well, being predicted to lose points. Alright, now we've got the grand total right now, and Manchester United have extended their lead over Chelsea with 33 to 30. Arsenal in second place with 12, so they're 18 points behind. And then we've got Manchester City, Spurs, and Liverpool, the only 6 teams to have plus points, and everyone else with minus points. You've got Blackburn at the back with Wimbledon and Coventry City. And Fulham is just behind Portsmouth, who Portsmouth round up the top 16 teams. So, what can Portsmouth do for the 2008 to the 2012 season? We'll find out. No, yeah, I'm just getting my numbers wrong, but you'll know what it is, and I'll by the time I'm doing the next group of Premier League seasons, I'll figure it out, but for the meantime, my brain has gone dead. But anyway, hope you're enjoying this little series, and see what happens then. So thank you guys so much for watching, and goodbye!